embarrassment that mean he will go down in history as the worst speaker in the history of our country for doing this. But in any event, we've got emergency conditions in the country because
Donald Trump ama romper la ley. Es casi un pasatiempo. Está a la altura de comer Big Macs, publicar tonterías en su red social y convertir cada edificio que pisa en algo más feo. Pero uno pensaría que después de tantos años desafiando las reglas, habría aprendido una lección básica. Cuando rompes la ley, hay consecuencias. El problema es que Donald Trump ha pasado toda su vida esquivándolas. Sin embargo, hoy no es uno de esos días y no está cayendo solo. También está arrastrando consigo a una de sus voceras más serviles, Karoline Leavitt, que acaba de recibir un golpe judicial brutal, un daño de realidad y una humillación pública que no se borra con ningún comunicado.
Those funds might get released.
Yeah, well, I'm extremely encouraged because the courts found that not only was it possible for the government to use these emergency funds to pay SNAP beneficiaries, 41 million people across the country who depend on them for food, but it was obligatory. It's necessary.
Right.
They've got to do it. So Trump and his team have egg all over their face because they were saying, no way, it can't be done. This is impossible. We're not going to do it. They went to court to fight it, and they lost. And now they're facing the question, well, do they appeal to show how much they really don't want those people to have the nutrition that Congress provided for them? Or is he going to turn around and pretend that somehow, oh, this was his big game plan originally? He always wanted to pull a fast one at the end. I mean, everybody can see right through that. But the good news is that the emergency fund that we set up in Congress is going to be dispersed to the people, and we're going to be able to make that up. But what we really need to do is the exact same thing with health care. The Trump administration very easily can tell the members of Congress, come back. All the Republicans have been hiding out in their districts. They're not having town hall meetings because they can't face their constituents, but tell them to come back to Washington. We can negotiate it this weekend. Let's reopen the government and let's restore people's health benefits. Let's make sure people can get their tax credits on the ACA so they can pay their health insurance premiums. And let's restore Medicaid so we're not throwing millions of people off of their health care.
I think I just saw that the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, has notified that next week will also be recess, which means I think that's am I right? That's a sixth consecutive week that he's keeping the House out?
Yeah, I mean, he has completely surrendered the legislative power of the people. This is the people's representatives. And so he's just lying down and capitulating completely to Donald Trump and whatever he wants to do. It's a disgrace and an embarrassment that mean he will go down in history as the worst speaker in the history of our country for doing this. But in any event, we've got emergency conditions in the country because just like we need to restore food, and not just for November, but going forward, we need to restore the healthcare.
Así que ahí lo tienen. El tribunal fue clarísimo. Los fondos para asistencia alimentaria debían entregarse. Y aún así, el presidente Trump decidió desafiar el orden. Lo repito porque hay que decirlo sin rodeos. Trump prometió hacer más barato el costo de vida y hoy está bloqueando la comida para millones de familias. Es el presidente que juró poner a Estados Unidos primero y ahora está dejando a su propia gente con hambre. Ha encarecido los alimentos con su política económica y ahora impide que los más pobres reciban ayuda. Y todo eso violando una orden casi judicial. Pero claro, si uno le pregunta a Karoline Leavitt, la portavoz de la Casa Blanca MAGA, la historia es otra. Vamos a ver su versión antes de entender por qué hoy está siendo demolida por los tribunales.
Several times, Gabe, we are complying with the court's order. We are getting the payments out the door as quickly as we can. USDA sent the guidance to the state. The president is referring to future SNAP payments. He does not want to have to keep tapping in to an emergency fund and depleting it. In the case of a catastrophe in this country, he wants to have those funds preserved as they should be. And he's made it very clear.
Y mientras sus aliados reparten culpas, millones de familias esperan los cheques que el propio gobierno bloqueó por caprichoso.
Does that message matter over and above the kind of structural backlash, right? Like, how are you thinking about this in terms of, we have this term thermostatic public opinion, right? And we've seen it for all the years that I've covered, particularly that Virginia race, right? Democrat in the White House, Republicans probably favored in that race a year later. Republican in the White House, the Democrats probably favored, right? We kind of know the way this goes. Over and above that, what did you see last night from Democrats that says what's happening is more than just the normal swings of the way the electorate works?
So I see this as how it is that someone like Mikey Sherrill, whom I like very much, but is a very different flavor than Zoran Mamdani, basically both ran on the same message. Stop and think about that for just a minute. Mikey and I were co-sponsors on the bill for universal child care. I went and campaigned with Zoran on universal child care because both of them were saying, we understand what's happening to American families. We understand how life is just not livable in a world that is all about tax breaks for billionaires and not making the investments in our families, in our children, not making investments in transportation or bringing down the cost of utilities. That these were candidates who said, I have very specific plans. I'm going to be in the fight to bring down costs for you. And what that does is that helps us really, as Democrats, get to a place where we deliver. We do things that are measurable. We're not just not Donald Trump, which, believe me, that is enough. You know, that's enough to motivate a lot of people to go to the polls. But it's beyond that. And the point is, it's sustainable over time, Chris. It's how you build something out of New York City and out of Virginia and out of New Jersey. It's how you build something out of all parts of the country to say that we get it. The cost of utilities is up 11% since Donald Trump got into office. Cost of groceries is up. Cost of housing is up. And Republicans are deliberately trying to push the cost of health care. I mean, how do you describe it? Through the stratosphere. People are watching their health insurance rates double and triple. And what I felt last night is this kind of joining together among Democrats in how we're in this fight. You know, I'm here in the Senate where Democrats are holding out, saying that we're not going to sign off to a Republican budget that takes away health care from tens of millions of people. We're in this fight to help get those health care costs under control.
Elizabeth Warren lo resume con una claridad que escasea en Washington. No basta con resistir, hay que ganar, porque lo que está en juego no es solo el presupuesto o un programa social, sino la idea misma de que el gobierno existe para proteger a su gente. Y Donald Trump ha demostrado que su prioridad no es el país, sino su ego y su revancha contra quienes no lo adoran. Y Levi ya respondía a esa pregunta muchas veces, dijo Levi, con el tono de quien está cansada de ser descubierta. Y tiene razón en una cosa, ha respondido muchas veces pero nunca ha dicho la verdad. Hay una diferencia entre responder y contestar con hechos. Y Levi nunca lo hace, porque si lo hiciera, tendría que admitir lo evidente, que mintió. Mintió sobre el orden judicial, mintió sobre el uso de los fondos y mintió para proteger al presidente de las consecuencias de su propio desprecio por la ley. Y ahora los tribunales la están dejando en evidencia. Una jueza federal calificó la postura del gobierno como un acto de abierta desobediencia y obligó al Departamento de Agricultura a pagar los beneficios completos del programa SNAP antes del viernes. El propio Trump, con una publicación en su red social, admitió su intención de desobedecer la orden judicial. Y mientras tanto, Levitt, en su intento de distraer al público, escribió: los beneficios de SNAP están en riesgo por el cierre del gobierno demócrata. Pero no, Caroline, no hay ningún cierre demócrata. El cierre lo lleva la firma del presidente Trump. Es simplemente el reflejo de esa cultura de mentira y servilismo que lo rodea. Esto es Rumor de Estado.